Hey there guys, and welcome back to another episode of One Team Legend with Slough Town FC. And today's episode is going to be a season review of our first full season as a club. Well, as a club in Football Manager 2023. Obviously, the club has existed before we were managing it, but our first season under my management, I guess. So, what we're going to do in this episode is have a look through some of our stats, some of our records that we've broken, which, keep in mind, this is season 1, so a lot of them don't really matter, like our best ever team, best ever first 11, where are they now? Some of those features are not going to mean as much because it's just season 1. Well, they're probably not going to mean anything. So this episode might be kind of shorter in that regard. I'll also go over some of the club information that perhaps I haven't gone into much detail during the season. So, for example, youth team, I think I completely neglected during the season. I didn't show you at all. Mostly that's because we don't have training facilities. So even if we did get some youth, we're not going to do much with them, right? Like it's not going to help us much. But I know some people are interested in youth, so I will show them briefly in this episode. I'll go through the youth team, I'll go through our staff, I'll have a look at whose contract's ending so we can work out what positions will definitely need improving for next season. And we'll just look over, like goal of the season and who performed well and who didn't perform as well as they should have. Just some general look back on the club, I guess. And set a plan for next season, I think. Off the top of my head, it will probably be, just looking to avoid relegation. But that might change when I start looking through the players and looking through who I've still got under contract and who I don't. Maybe I'll be a little bit more optimistic and I'll be quite happy and excited coming forward to the next season. I think I'll probably be happy regardless. I'll try and keep as much of this team as possible, and it's kind of a shock that we even got in to the league above, into the Vanarama National League. But that doesn't mean we want to go straight back down. Our lowest ambition would be to avoid relegation. We don't want to go back down. That is just a huge no for us. It would do us a lot of harm, I think, in the long term, going back down, because it's not as easy as coming straight back up. So yeah, either way, we're going to look through the club and even look through some of the financials and such as well, and just see where we stand. And so this would be a good little intermission episode before next season. And there won't be any matches, so if you watch these episodes for the matches, then maybe this isn't the best sort of episode for you if you're not interested in the stats and how the inner workings of the club and how well we've done, and all these other little tidbits and bits of information that we're going to be going over. If that isn't for you, then that's fine. It's probably not for everyone. It's the bits that I really love about Football Manager, though, that you can really get involved in. So I'm just going to go over. I don't even know what exactly yet, because I'm recording this before I record the episode, which is not perhaps as useful as it could be. But we'll go over it, and I hope you enjoy it. If not, then I'll see you next episode where there will be matches, because we'll be heading into, at the beginning of next season. And so perhaps I'll just see you there. But if you do continue to watch this episode, then I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. We have just finished season 1 as champions, to the surprise of many, including me. And I remember getting quite emotional at the end of the last episode. And I mean, look at this, 4 goal that we won on 4 goal difference. It's still it's such a good. Well, I was going to say it's such a good end to the season. It's not. I mean, I would much prefer to have just won our games. It feels almost a little bit lackluster, but the emotion was there. It was a final day. I guess to remember. Yeah, shocking. But here we are. We need to prepare for the league above. But first things first, end of season review. Now, I haven't seen one of these in 2023, but I assume that it's, more or less the same. Let's have a little look. And there's our championship. Got our first trophy in the cabinet. What a great start to the save. So Tyrese Onyeka is signing of the season. I mean, it's hard to argue with that, isn't it? 27 appearances, 26 goals, 3 assists. I believe you guys saw very few of those. I don't know what to tell you. He was a bit camera shy, I guess. Yeah, he had a couple of moments, but yeah, most of those came off camera. Ollie Dwyer, who, I'll be honest with you, Ollie Dwyer, one of my favourites, and I don't know why, but I guess seeing that rating, a 7.1, 7.16. Is that 1.6 or 1.8? It's 7.18. I'm going blind, I think. 7.18 from a centre back across the season. 3 goals, 5 assists. I think at one point I may have said he's going to get 10 goals across the season in one of the early episodes. That's in my head. I wasn't correct, but still, it's a decent. I mean, how did he get 5 assists? Was he just heading across the goal? I don't understand. Was he taking corners or something? I don't know. I don't know how he's done that. But yeah, he's one of our top performers, and I'm pretty happy with him. Guy Hollis is a bit of a shock here, to be honest with you, because he wasn't one of my signings, and he's 31, and I'm surprised he ever got used. The plan would never have been to use him, and yet he started 13, came on from the bench, 13 appearances. What can I say? I guess that tells you everything you need to know. Johnny Goddard started at the club, and he had a great season. His main position is not even one that we use, because he plays as an attacking midfielder. And, of course, Alex Cole. Why has he got signing of the season? Alex Cole. Let's just move on, shall we? I think clearly we should just move on. None of this means anything. It's just not. I can't believe it. Signing of the season, Alex Cole. You guys saw what I saw. He's just not worth it. He's not worth it. Knocked out in the first round by Salford. Yes, I remember that well. I was expected to get a lot of money from that Salford game, and we got nothing. So there we go. 5 goals from Harris across the competition. It was all right. I mean, we got to the first round. We've got to be happy with that. Hopefully we can do it again. FA Trophy, 5th round, again. Did all right. Hope we can do it again. Not much to say about those, really. Moments to remember. Biggest win. A 4-0 win over Cheshire, with Lynch scoring on a 90+1. Look, here's an Onyeka hat-trick on a match to remember. A 3-1 win over Ebbsfleet. And goal of the season was Harris's 43-minute goal. How can I watch that? Do I have to actually click this? Okay, watch goals, I guess. Okay, there we go. So this is our goal of the season goal. I mean, fair enough. I feel like Lench's goal. You guys know the goal I'm talking about. The Frank Lampard-esque goal that never was but should have been. That was a better goal, wasn't it? I feel like that was a better goal. But that's still a great goal. Surprised that got goal of the season. I guess Dartford is a big squad. It got us that goal. Actually, it was so important. First of all, it put us ahead, which must have been a big shock. But yeah, the fact that they equalised and we managed to keep it 1-1. This match sent us into the replay, which put us through. I can't remember who we played after that. Didn't we play Phoenix or somebody really like low down after that? And then we played Salford. So it's kind of a big goal. Finances. So we've got more sponsorship, more broadcast revenue, more everything. Onyeka's selling a lot of shirts. Not surprised by that. You'll notice that Ben Harris isn't on here, selling a lot of shirts. I guess, even though I believe he was our top goal scorer, I think that would have shown up somewhere. I've clicked through it. In fact, is that true? If we go here, does it show? No, it doesn't. For some reason, it's not showing the Panorama South. It's just showing the FA Cup and the trophy. Yeah, it might be a little bit later where it shows that. But I'm pretty sure that Ben Harris was our top scorer. So it's kind of a little bit surprising that Onyeka is on here. And Harris isn't anywhere even in the top 5. Now, I would say out of these players, Onyeka is somebody I want to sort of build the team around a little bit. I would like to keep hold of Aaron Cole and George Hunt as well. Goddard is a little bit older, but it'd be nice to keep him on for a little bit. I imagine he's going to be rotating to bench play though. This Aberdeen Goodridge, I think was his name Tristan, or I don't remember his first name. He's left winger though, and I think I was a little bit underwhelmed by him. So, I mean, I think he might be under contract for next season. We'll have a look at contracts in a little bit. But he might. I have a feeling if one of these 5 are going to go, he's the one I'd be looking at. But I imagine there's way more people that are looking for the axe before these guys, and we might struggle to keep hold of a couple of them. So we'll have a little look at that. But yes, we've got some new deals here coming in, and I mean that's just going to be good, I guess. We've got no new sponsorship deals or anything, so it's our first team 11. It's you have to. I mean, how has Fabian Sol made it onto here? Fabian Sol made it onto our best 11, and Lench was not meant to make it. Well, neither of these guys actually. Lench. I specifically remember saying Lench would be on the bench, and I remember because it rhymed. And I mean, he was a bit of a revelation. I'm really happy for Lench making it into here. I don't know what that means for his future, but he's had a really solid season. Fabian Sol, I don't know how he's made it on there. I don't know how George Hunt hasn't made it into here, but it is what it is. Aaron Cole, totally expected to be there. A little bit underwhelmed by his overall rating. And yeah, Onyeka, 7.31. And this guy, Alex Cole. I've got him for this season. I don't want to spend a whole season hating him, but I think I have to. That's my only option. My only option is to spend the season hating him, because I mean, he's performing, and I've already got him tied down. I think I play him for this season, let his contract run out, send him off to some other crappy club who doesn't care that he's useless, and just get in a better player. I don't know. But yes. It's a great first 11, actually. It's kind of... I'm just looking at it and I can't help but think, where do I make improvements on it? Who do I not want to keep it? Like Fabian Sol, I could see that position changing. Unfortunately, I could see like Lench changing, even though midfield I thought was my strongest area. Goddard, I would have said probably I'd be looking to change. And again, Aberdeen Goodridge, like maybe my wingers, but Goddard's been so good this season. Whereas Wells, for example, I would have thought I'm not looking to change him. And yet, he's a bit low on his rating, isn't he? In terms of games played, I mean, George Wells has played nearly every game this season. Alex Cole did play in every game, so he played 55, whereas Wells played 50 and made 2 sub appearances as well. So he played 52 games. He was there for nearly the whole season, and he's our most capped player in this team other than the goalkeeper. So although his average rating might be a bit lower, he was instrumental to the team. Band player of the season, Ben Harris. Young player of the season, Onyeka, signing of the season. Goal of the season was Ben Harris, top goal scorer, 27 goals for Ben Harris. Aaron Cole, 13 assists. Most man of the matches for Goddard. Surprising, isn't it? And the highest average rating was Ben Harris as well. I mean, Ben Harris has played really well. The problem is he's 32. I don't think he'll accept being a bench player, is the problem. And I was manager, Panorama League South Manager of the Month for August and February. Yeah, it's not shocking, is it, that I didn't get that for the for the final 2 months of the season, where things went to hell. It was really bad. Most league goals by a player in a season. That's interesting. Onyeka had more league goals even though he came in January, whereas Harris had 27 goals overall. Onyeka had 23 goals in the league. So Onyeka must have been very close to Harris in overall goals, even though Harris was there from the beginning of the season and is much younger. I mean, yeah, Onyeka's much younger. Worst discipline of Dwyer. 11 yellows and a red card. Fastest goal, 13 seconds. I'm still a little bit shocked. I'm still a little bit shocked that we went on. Dynamic manager. So we got hired. We signed Alex Cole. Alex Cole, so good that he appeared on this timeline twice. Yeah, his name was Tristan. I thought it was Tristan. I'm a little bit surprised that I got that right. Losses in a row. Onyeka joins in December. Okay, it was December, not January. Yeah, I think Onyeka, I mean, hopefully we can keep hold of Onyeka, really, because I think he was a revelation for the team, and he's very important for our future. So that was nice. We'll have a little mosey around other parts of the club. So one thing I wanted to talk about is our youth team. So I got rid of, at the beginning of our first season, I just got rid of all of our young players. Anybody we weren't using, I cancelled their contracts or tried to sell them. So this is our entire youth team. This came through in our youth candidates, and we just signed them all. We've got a few 1-star abilities in terms of potential. This guy looks pretty good as a right winger. We've also got Ramsey over here as a centre mid. See, centre mid's well, he's a striker, I guess. Pressing forward. Got some pace and acceleration on him, some natural fitness. Yeah, he looks alright, not great. I don't think any of these are particularly strong candidates for really any position. This guy's got an average rating of 9.1. Across how many games? Just one game. It's kind of insane though. Good job, I guess. Like I say, I don't think the youth team really means much for us right now. We've got very low facilities. We've got very low youth recruitment, youth coaching. I am bringing them in here in the hopes that somebody wants to buy them eventually. Or, I don't know. I mean, they're on £5 a week. I don't think it matters. We'll bring them in just so we have a youth team that's doing something. But I don't see any use to this right now. If we have a little look at our finances, we've ended the season with an overall balance of 170k. I believe there might be a tax to come out of this. I think when you end the season in a positive, and I don't believe it's happened yet, you get taxed on your profits, so there will be a tax on that. In terms of the board, I just want to have a little look and see if they will do anything. I would quite like a professional status. I don't see that happening. We'll put those in. I will show you my stats as well. So I got my first license because I didn't have one, and I'm now studying for another license. And these are my stats. I think at the beginning of the season I had 1s in everything except, was it like a 6 in discipline? So now I have a 10 in discipline and I have a bunch of other stats everywhere else. Still not looking great, but it's increasing. And that's all we're going to be looking for. We're going to be seeing this go up. The fact that discipline's now a 10 is something I'm pretty happy with, and hopefully this continues to go up, and it'll be interesting to see how high these can go. In terms of our staff, we'll have a little look at this. So I've come back to record this bit because I spoke way too long in my original recording for this. But just to go over my staff briefly, I think all that's important is that I've got some very good scouts. My physios are pretty good, and my coaches I've put much less effort into, and it shows. I just don't think we have the training facilities to actually take advantage of coaches. But once their contracts start to run out, I will probably not be replacing them and trying to get in better coaches over time. I just don't think it's a big deal because we don't have the facilities, so we could have the best coaching team in the world, but there's only so much they can do with the bad facilities. I would probably point out Neil Sillett here as our scout, who he's pretty good for this level. I mean, some of you may be used to like Premiership clubs, and you'll be looking at this and going, "There's nothing special about him." But for a club at our level to have a scout this good, it's huge. I'm surprised we were able to get him. A 12-12 is amazing, and I mean he used to be at Brighton, so you know that's a great quality for a club like ours. Anyway, on to other aspects of the club. All of those players, they have contracts expiring. So we're going to be keeping, for sure, Aaron Core, Ethan Warsaw, Ollie Dwyer, Nathan Tormey, who I guess is more of a backup option, Alex Cole, George Hunt, Tyrese Onyeka, and George Wells. I would say that out of those players, this guy here, Tristan, big last name, just Tristan, let's call him Tristan. We should probably look to keep him on if we can. Something tells me he's not very interested. Yeah, he's not interested at all. So we're going to be losing him. Matt Lynch. Now, Lynch is decent. He's 30. He's getting to the end of his career. I think I wouldn't mind bringing in Lynch if he was interested in going as a bench player. Sort of like a squad. Yeah, maybe a squad player. He is. There we go. What was his contract before? 275. I think if we add a clause, well, see, he was 275, but he was He was a first team player. He's now a squad player. I don't really want to pay him the same amount. As I say, when I just give him a 275, I'm not giving him a pay raise. Okay, maybe I am. We'll try 300. Okay. I mean, I gave in. I like bench. Lench, not bench. But that's where he's going to be sitting. Although I said that this season. You never know. Kyle Da Silva, I really liked. I liked Kyle Da Silva. I think he performed better than he had any right to. But he was injured a couple of times. I think we can get better. I don't think we need to worry about him too much. Reece Forster back up. Fabian Sol back up. Decent-ish back up, but we can get better backup options. Josh Jackman, I think he's a right back and a left back. I think if we can get him on a squad, again, he's a little bit older, but if we can get him in a squad role, he has some use. He can, like for example, Josh Jackman on the bench would be great because he can play in right back and left back. So I think we should maybe look at just sorting that out a little bit. Sure, fringe player. We'll try that out. He's not happy with that. He only wants to be an important player. So, yeah, we can't take him. Ben Harris. I'm not going to offer Ben Harris a contract. Unless he has any interest in... No, he has no interest in becoming staff. I would have liked to have made him a staff player. No. I think... Yeah. Unfortunately, Ben Harris is not going to be a player for us any longer. Joe Dandy can go. Guy Hollis can go. He did well, but it is what it is, Johnny Goddard. I'm going to try and keep... Oh, we've put in a contract offer for Goddard. I'd forgotten about that. So we'll try and keep Goddard. And yeah, we're keeping Lynch, or we're going to try to. So he has to accept it first. So we'll have a little look at that. In terms of where that leaves us, we have a little look at the squad planner. Hello? Yeah, we'll just go next season. Right, okay. So it's counting the people that have left already. So in terms of centre-back, we've got Ollie Dwyer and Tom Matthews. Not Tom Matthews. Why is he... I don't know what that's telling me. So we've got Ollie Dwyer and we've got Ethan Warsall. I think that's a solid centre-back pairing. It'll work well, I think. Tom Matthews as a backup. 2-star backup. Not great. We might try and move on Tom Matthews if we can, but he's on a tiny wage. In right back, we've got nobody right now, so right back is a position we have to fill. Goalkeeper, we've got Alex Cole. Left back, we've got George Wells. Defensive midfielder, we're probably going to be looking to move Aaron Cole into defensive midfield and use our centre mids for... I mean, we've got... So George Hunt will go in midfield. We might keep Lynch. I imagine we're going to be looking to bring somebody better in. But it's nice to have the options, and both of them can play in DM or midfielder. So if George Hunt, for example, ends up being a bench player, then he can fill in both of these. So that would be nice. Tormy is a backup. So we have no wingers. Tormy is definitely going to be a bench player. I don't know what I've actually offered him. Yeah, he's a squad player. Tormy's going to be a good little bench player. He's going to be a bench winger. He can play on either side. That's all we're using him for. So we need 2 wingers. Onyeka is going to be our number 1 striker. Well, actually, we never really know, do we? We might bring in somebody better. But Onyeka's currently going to be our number 1 striker, so we're going to be looking to bring in a bench striker. Still, though, that's a decent spine of a squad, I think. We can bring in a couple of good wingers and a really strong midfielder. I think we've got a really good team there. Surely good enough to stay up in the next division. I think they've got to, haven't they? that's got to be enough quality. You would think that we've got enough threat going forward and enough solidity at the back that we're just going to pick up points. I'm not saying we're going to be going on a huge run where we're going to be winning the league, but to avoid relegation, you just need to pick up a result every now and again, and this team can do that. On top of that, we've got quite a few of the same players from Season 1, right, going into Season 2, which means that our squad dynamics are going to be pretty good. I mean, our squad dynamics are really good right now. The players love being at the club right now, and that bleeds into their actual playing ability. So, I don't know, I'm quite happy looking at the new season. I think that all works quite well. In terms of my training routines, I leave it completely to the AI because we're part-time. There's no point messing with it. Even when we go full-time, I might leave it to the AI until we get to higher levels. And then I'll probably just download something off the Steam Workshop. I don't think I'll mess with it myself. I don't think it matters too much right now. We're not able to develop world-class players. So, I mean, maybe we can get a little bit more out of them. But we've got the worst facilities and the worst coaches around. Does it matter, really? I don't think it makes a big difference. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not convinced that I should be messing with any of this too much. So looking ahead to next season, I think we've got a good season ahead of us. I think we've got a lot of transfers to be done, and we're going to be looking at those transfers in the next episode. I think the way I'll do next episode is I will focus mainly on our summer transfers, and then I'll show the first game of the season and see if they all manage to settle in, if we can get some new faces on the score sheet maybe in the first game. It'd be nice to come out of a win. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it'll be nice to be showing you the transfers as they're happening. And I think the plan would be that we'll be working towards that. We'll be showing. I'll probably show them in clumps. Because that tends to be how I buy players. I'll look at a few, and then I'll make offers for them, and some of them will join, some of them won't join, and then we'll go forward a few, another week or two, and I'll be applying for the next bunch of players, offering them contracts. So I might show that to you as it happens, these 3 have come back and then another 3 have come back, rather than doing it all in one section. But we'll see how we get to that. That said, I think I'm going to end this video here. Let's have a little look at the runtime. It's a long one. I wasn't sure. I can talk for England. I wasn't sure if this was going to be long or short. This is very long. I've spoken for a huge amount of time. Oh dear. Well, if you've made it this far, what's wrong with you? I'm glad you did, but I don't know how you did. I hope I was interested in what I was talking about. I hope that, rubbed off on you guys. Either way, I think I should definitely end this episode here because you guys are probably falling asleep right now. But I'm excited for the next season. I'm excited to see what we can do in the league above. And I foresee that we might have a stabilising season where we just try and stay up and we try and get our reputation up, keep hold of some of our best players. And then the season after that, we can make a bit of a push up the table a bit. But I don't... If you're watching this and you're expecting that we're going to get back-to-back promotions, I think that would be very unlikely. It was very unlikely we got the first season promotion. I don't think we can compete with these guys, especially until we're professional. There's a chance we might end up eventually getting a promotion without going professional, but it's always going to be an outside chance until we can get that professional status, get people on full-time contracts, get our coaching facilities ready and get our coaches up. Because a lot of teams in that division have all of that. They used to be Football League clubs. They're professional. They've got good facilities. We don't have any of that. They have, massive gate receipts because they've got fans coming in each week. We don't have that. So there's going to be definitely a stage of building the club up a little bit internally. You know, we need to put on some exciting football, put in some results so that fans will come and watch us, so that we can get the money, so that we can go professional. And that's all we're going to be looking to do. And I think we gave them that this season, and hopefully we'll give them that again next season. And that's the sort of club I want to build up. And I hope that's the sort of club you want to see. So join me next episode where we will go over our transfers in the summer and play our first game of the season. And hopefully we can do that. We can just show some attractive football, get some fans in the door, in the gate, and in the stands, supporting us, cheering us on, and getting us some money so we can go for the big time. Because that's what this series is all about. It's not just a huge rush to the top. We need to build a sustainable club that can get us all the way to the Champions League final. And that's a long journey. So we need some good foundations, and these are the years where we build it. So see you next time where we'll try and get that done.